Well, Charles, a week or so gone by now that the curtain has come down on the season, but as you know, life in football continues 24/7, 365 days a year. But I thought we'd just have that catch up of what's going on at the club, and of course, first of all, your view of the season that's just ended.
Well, it's been a very difficult season in a lot of respects, hasn't it? It's been difficult for the players. It's been difficult for the staff, and of course, it's been very difficult for the supporters who haven't been able to watch their team. But at the end of the day, in terms of the club and its performance, I think David and his team have done very well. Could have been better, we all know that, but I think they've done very well. Finishing in the top half of the table is a good effort.
You're taking positives out of what the team has done for the first time back in League One. What are the positives have come in? What you've already described a very, very tricky and difficult few months it's been in the country and in the world.
Well, yeah, football is football, isn't it? And people point it out regularly that if you start talking about in the country and the world, there's an awful lot of serious things going on. But within the football club, I mean, the support we've had from the season ticket holders and the fans, I mean, that's a fantastic positive. They supported us all the way. And I think I've said previously, without their support, we wouldn't be looking towards next season in such a positive fashion. I think the emergence of new players, it's our way, isn't it, Graham? At the Alex, we're always looking for the next crop. We're delighted to see Perry and Pixie go on their way in the sense that they've earned their chance, and I'm sure both of them will do remarkably well. I mean, it's a joy. I mean, it's what we're about. It's what the fans are about, and they've served us well and got us to helped get us to a top half finish in the league. So, they're real positives. And then on top of that, we see the likes of Rio and Travis coming through. It's they're all positives. They're a joy.
Obviously, you've settled down now with the new board fully in place and fully working together. Is it something that you're looking at, that you're taking sort of long-term approaches of every department? Is that something that you set out? Because we'll talk a little bit later about quite a lot of change that's going on, off the field in terms of round the ground and down at Rees. But is that how you view it as the sort of chairman of the board of directors? Long-term approach?
Very much so. I mean, you're very well aware, Graham, and I think most of our supporters are aware that when we did the restructure last February, the purpose was obviously to restructure the shareholding in a way that was to the advantage of the club, the players, the team, that all aspects of what we want to do. But the people we've brought in they're Crew Alex fans. So I think I said day one, it's not just about their money, although without their money, it would have been difficult, but it's also about the ideas they bring, the fresh look. And in demographic terms, I mean, the board has reduced its age considerably. I mean, we probably had an average age in the 70s. Now we've got an average age in the early 50s. So that's a good thing. That allows us to, with the new structure, with the new financing, to look forward at all aspects of what we want to do. And we will take a long-term view. Our academy is proof purchase that we take a long-term view. We are, and we'll talk about it, as you said, in a second, but we're invested in the academy. We're invested in the under 6, 7s, 8s and 9s. Well, if you're going to invest in 6, 7s, 8s and 9s, it's going to be 10 years before you see the results and the fruits of those investments. So it's important to take a long-term view. The club's been here since 1877, and hopefully it'll prosper for a long time to come.
How important is it though when you work together? Because it seems as though you're all working off the same hymn sheet, and what I include there is your management team. You're really supportive of them, and they're very supportive of yourself. When we see what happens in football and how changes are made very quickly at boardroom level down to management, that doesn't seem the case. It seems to me as though you've got every faith in your management team, whether it's from Dave Artell who leads it, down to the coach of the under 5s, let's say.
Absolutely. And I've not seen any proof, or any clear proof that wholesale change, top to bottom, delivers results. You know, it may defer criticism, it may defer pressure, it may defer pressure from the fans, but the proof of the pudding is in hard work over the long term, and the plans that we're putting in place as a board, off the pitch, on the pitch, and around the pitch, so to speak, are going to take a while. The team that we have, we've talked about Dave and his players a lot, but the team that we have off the pitch in terms of our marketing and our press and our video, the administrative staff, they're really good people. You know, you cut them, they bleed for Alexandra through and through, and it's important to support them. A lot of the things that they've suffered over the years are no different than what the board suffered from, and that is the pressure of not being able to think out of the box, not having the finances or the wherewithal to think in that way. So it has started from the top. It just hasn't been a complete and utter revolution. It's been a refocusing and a reapplication of most of the principles that we've all believed in for a very long time.
While we're talking about the management team, and we all know, because you keep it open, you don't discuss the figures, you don't bring the figures out in the open, but you are one of the lowest budgets in League One. You may be the lowest budget in League One. Are you doing your best and try to improve that for the manager? Because just by looking at it now, Charles, when you look at that League One, even though there's still a couple of places to be decided, whether from the playoffs going up or whatever, you know, but can you increase that budget for the manager?
Well, a lot of what we've just been talking about in terms of the new initiatives that we've got off the pitch are designed to increase our revenue. If we can increase our revenue, then we can afford to spend more. Now we are certainly targeting spending more on the supporter and the fan experience. I think it's important, and a lot of those things have been ignored for the last few years because we simply haven't been able to afford it. In terms of the team, of course, if we can, we will. We have got one, if not the lowest budget in League One at the moment. But what we mustn't forget, when we, you know, that's just a net figure. We put a considerable amount of money into our academy, and by putting the money into the academy, it enables us to pay our scholars and our junior pros, first year pros, at a slightly lower level. And the contract that we have with them and the covenant we give them is that if they come through the academy, they're likely to play in our first team. Will they be the best paid first team player in League One? Absolutely not. But they understand that. And as I said earlier, Perry and Pixie are proof purchase. So we're able to keep it down at the sort of eye-line level, whilst we're also investing significantly in our academy. And those two things run hand in hand. But this time around, we're also starting to invest off the pitch. I mean, we're going to have hopefully, if the weather holds, we'll be getting our new large screen TV scoreboard. We're doing an awful lot to the infrastructure of the stadium itself in respect of the lounges, both in the Alexandra Suite, behind the goals, and the Rights Lounge. It's work that's needed to be done, and with the new structure, with the new confidence, and with a new invigorated management team, we can turn our attention to all those things. So it's great. It's fantastic.
Let's stay on that particular department then, because you've written a letter to the season ticket holders, and you're freezing prices for those who renewed a season or so ago. You're also offering various hospitality packages this time as well, as possibly a match day magazine. So there's quite a lot of things there that are looking as though you're looking forward. You know, you feel that this is the way. This is the way to attract those supporters.
Yeah, there's an awful lot going on, and post-season, close season is normally a very busy time for us. It's a busy time all round, and we're trying to get an awful lot done. As I've said to most of the people in the club, you know, we're not going to get all this right, but we'll get most of it right, and it won't be for the want of trying. And the mistakes we make will be for the right reason, and then we'll get them right again. So, in terms of off the field, there's an awful lot of redecoration and that kind of thing happening, as I said, in the Alexandra Club, in the Connolly Suite behind the goal, and in the Rights Lounge, because those kind of things matters to supporters, where they drink their pint, where they eat their pies, where they eat their meals are important. And I think they'll notice a difference. In terms of the season tickets, we're under pressure. We're always under pressure. You mentioned it a moment ago. We have to try and pay the best wages that we can. And this year, and I'm sure we'll come on to this later, but this year we're going to have to find quite a lot of footballers. There's probably 10 or 11 new players that we've got to bring in, and that will certainly strain the budget. So the support of the season ticket holders last year underpins that, and the support of the season tickets this year going forward, or the next year going forward, is equally important. So what we've tried to do is to find the balance between saying thank you to all those people who stood by us and bought a season ticket last year, and say, well, we're not going to increase our season ticket prices, because I think that's something that we should do. It's the right thing to do, and we're going to try and do that. So that brings pressures both ways. But I think it's about balance, isn't it? It's about balance of what we can do to say thank you, balance in terms of what we need going forward with new revenues off the pitch, and sustaining the revenues on the pitch with the season tickets and the gate monies, in order to provide Dave with the best balance in terms of his budget for next year, given that he's got to find so many players.
The be all and end all football supporters, aren't they, Charles? And they've been very, very sadly missed, no doubt about that. Well, fingers crossed, your people will be back, coming August. They've already started to take up your offers.
They have indeed. We've had a strong response to the release of season ticket information and sales last week. Who wouldn't want to come back, Graham? I mean, you and I have been lucky in one sense that we've watched these matches, but to watch them live with no crowds, it's just not the same. And you hear it from the top of the game to the bottom of the game. Football is for fans. It was proven only a few weeks ago, in the most serious of circumstances, at the highest possible level of the game, but all the way through the game, the fans are what matter, and it's what the players play for. It's what the supporters live for, and fingers crossed, all being well, given the way things are going, we should be looking forward to a really good season next season in terms of return of fans and the atmospheres that we all know. And not all the atmospheres are good, are they? When we're 2-0 down or we're 0-0 and we're holding on, the fans are quiet. Port Vale come and it's bedlam. It's fantastic. It's what we look forward to, all of us, and I can't wait.
So let's just sum it all up in a way then, an end of a chaotic season. Let's all look forward now, because there has been no hospitality, there has been no fans. You've not hardly been able to, merchandise has been very, very slow. Fingers crossed, the green light is there now and everybody can go forward.
Well, yes, hopefully. I mean, at the end of the day, the fans have suffered financially as well as the football club. We haven't been able to do quite as much as we'd like to have done in this first year with a new board and with the supporters on the board as well. But we all know why those reasons are. Assuming that things pick up, the offerings that we have next year, certainly we hope on the pitch, but definitely off the pitch, are going to be, I think, a real eye-opener for people. We've got a new website coming, we've got a new online shop capability, which we're hoping to launch. We've got new sponsorship deals in the pipeline. We've got the hospitality upgrades that we're hoping to do. And we've got the players, hopefully we've got the players coming in order to give us a successful season. So it has been tough, but it's been tough for everybody. And for football clubs, it hasn't been as tough as it has for the wider hospitality sector. And it certainly hasn't been as tough as it has been for some people who've lost their jobs or, have struggled all the way through this. But there is a big light at the end of the tunnel now, isn't there? And I know we're all, guarded, and we are told to be guarded by the powers that be. And I understand that. But I think we're all looking forward to next season to being a very different season to what this one was, and to be a successful one, both on the pitch and off the pitch.
I just want to put one final question to you as the chairman of the football club. This particular weekend, your staff, your management staff, your coaches are heading for a grueling tester, but well worthy of a cause where they're raising money for your young academy goalkeeper, Ashton Hume, where the boys are running it to Vale and to Stoke, and they're on the bikes as well. A fantastic effort on behalf of a very young boy.
They're absolutely mad, aren't they? They really do need their bumps feeling. You know, they're going to be wrecked by the time they're finished. But how fantastic. I mean, Ashton, his family, I mean, what could you say? I mean, it's everyone's worst nightmare, and he's so brave. You know, that his parents, his mum is unbelievable. And the guys who wanted to do this from day one, I think as Sunday approaches, and for those of you who haven't gone to the Just Giving page, I urge you to go because it's for a fantastic cause. But as Sunday approaches, I can see the fear and dread on those coaches' eyes. And I've seen Dave Artell's picture on the website, you know, one of the team. Let me point out that Dave Artell is on a bicycle. He is the support group. You know, you may, he's one who has thought it through. But hopefully they'll raise a fantastic amount of money. And hopefully later on in the close season, we can announce bigger things for Ashton Hume, because him and his family deserve all the support we can possibly give them. And this is the start, and we hope to be announcing other things as the close season goes on for the announcement of the pre-season. So good luck to them all. God bless to Ashton, and it's a fantastic thing they're doing.